This is another sign of the times, an analysis, and a commentary. Ice melt now at 97% of Greenland, satellites show. 3 satellites found that 97% of Greenland, the landmass second only to Antarctica for its volume of ice, underwent a thaw never before seen in 33 years of satellite tracking, NASA has reported. Satellite experts at first didn't trust the readings, especially since they showed an incredible acceleration. Over 4 days, Greenland's ice sheet, which covers 683,000 square miles, went from 40% in thaw to nearly entirely in thaw. This was so extraordinarily fast that at first the results were questioned. Was this real, or was it due to a data error? Scientists on the ground in Greenland had been reporting an unusually warm summer thaw, including damage at a snow airfield and strong runoff threatening a bridge, said Tom Wagner, who manages NASA's ice research programs. Ice cores from Greenland's highest region do reveal that such island-wide thaws have happened every 150 years or so, at least over the last few thousand years. But the fear now is that it might occur much more frequently due to warming sea and air temperatures. In other words, the ice is melting faster and faster. We can't lose sight of the fact that Greenland's ice sheet is losing 150 gigatons of ice a year, Wagner said. That translates into rising sea levels. Additionally, the danger of greater warming and greater melt persists. If we continue to observe melting events like this in upcoming years, it will be worrisome, said a NASA glaciologist who helped analyze the satellite data. The director of the top ice research center in the United States said the discovery fits into the larger picture of a strongly warming Arctic. Arctic sea ice extent this summer is so far tracking at very low, near record levels, and the ice cover is unusually diffuse. On top of that, the seasonal melt that followed the 2012 winter started unusually early over most of the Arctic Ocean. The center's latest report noted that Arctic sea ice continued to track at levels far below average through the middle of July, with open water reaching as far north as typically seen during September. Thomas Mote, a University of Georgia climatologist who looked at the satellite data, said the melt followed an unusual series of warm air ridges over Greenland since late May, with the strongest coinciding with the rapid thaw in mid-July. Each successive ridge, he said, was stronger than the previous one, and it looks like the pattern has finally broken down. The ridges happened just as a cyclic weather phase, known as the North Atlantic Oscillation, shifted. Together, they produced near-perfect conditions for this event. Because they hold so much ice on land, Greenland and Antarctica have the potential to raise sea levels significantly if warming continues or worsens. Sea levels have already risen by about 8 inches in the last century, partly due to some ice melt, but also thermal expansion caused by warming seas. The United Nations Climate Panel estimates sea level could rise between 7 inches and nearly 2 feet this century, if not sooner. The latter a scenario that could prove catastrophic for many coastal areas around the globe. NASA said researchers had not yet determined whether this summer's Greenland thaw would be significant enough to raise sea levels. Greenland has enough ice to raise sea levels by 23 feet if it all melted off. A recent study found that it could take a long-term increase in global temperatures of just 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit to completely melt Greenland's ice sheet in approximately 2,000 years, more or less. Yes, the melting of the ice is increasing faster and faster, and this too is another sign of the end of times as we know them, transition days, which is a time of extraordinary changes, happenings, and events, because it's about what kind of world are we leaving to the future generations. And that should be a very important question to ask. Again, Daniel chapter 12. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which stands for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awaken, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. 3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words, and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Mark chapter 13, verse 7. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. 8. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in divers places, and there shall be famines, droughts, and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows. Revelation chapter 16, verse 8. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch humans with fire. 9. And humans were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of God, which has power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him glory. 10. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom or nation was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain. 11. And blasphemed the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds. 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings or leaders of the east might be prepared. It's time for the physical and spiritual manifestation of the book of Revelation, and all these are more signs.